And the Big Show TV begins right now. Before we officially go, on the radio, Dr. Geraldine Tan is in the house today.
Very interesting reports about our suicide rates in Singapore, Jerry.
Straight in, FD.
Yeah.
Straight in.
Well, today is World Suicide
It's World Suicide
Prevention
Day.
Is it really World Suicide Day?
Prevention Day.
World Suicide Prevention Day today.
Let's just sweep
we
it
should
under
have
the
talked
carpet.
about
I was surprised that you were not talking about it today. Yes.
We
yeah.
can switch. Shall we switch?
Of course we can switch anytime. We can do whatever we want. It's our show.
45 minutes talking about suicide.
No, that's a bit much. But the decrease is very high, 32.4%.
Very good.
Huge.
Yeah, so we've done
It's
a
very good.
lot. SOS also has put out quite a number of things out there. The WhatsApp, the tech. So there's texting. They have the 24-hour. Yeah. So the texting is very useful. Some of my youths have used it when
Because they don't want to
cannot-
talk, right?
Not only that they don't want to talk, but they cannot get to us. So they text in, and there is someone that replies.
Because I feel like
That's
people,
good.
like the Gen Zers and all that, they're more of texters
Yes.
than callers.
Yes,
So
yes,
if you
yes.
have that option, at least they're more
Yes.
willing to reach out.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So
Very
SOS has this.
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
very
you
good.
can text in.
Angel,
Okay.
how come you look like a small little bomb went off in your head? Your hair is all standing.
Yeah.
It's like boom.
Yeah.
There.
Here?
Yeah, it's okay now.
The bomb,
no, it's
is
okay. No, the bangs are
I'm
back.
electrified.
The bangs. That was like adding new meaning to the word bang.
Oh, my goodness.
My bangs
like-
got banged.
Yes, correct.
My bangs got banged.
We are still off air, so it's okay.
Okay, I was like, where? I can't see. Okay, all good?
Yeah, all good.
Thank you
Better,
for
better.
looking out. Okay, but we're talking about something very positive today.
Yes, we
Yes.
are.
But the
Yes,
numbers
we
of
do.
the suicide numbers
Yes,
are positive.
Yes.
But we're not
yes.
talking about suicide today. So it's success and motivation.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so I think I know why I didn't do suicide today, because I had a whole session on it the last time just after the SOS symposium. Yeah. So we
In
covered
fact, over the
that.
years,
Very
we've
heavy.
spoken about
We've
suicide on
spoken
so
about
many
it a lot.
occasions.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the stations that are very brave. That is very brave.
Well, it's something that needs to be.
It needs to be
Spoken
addressed.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yes,
so
today,
success?
success and motivation, because so many kids are coming in saying, I got no motivation to study. The youths are coming in to say, I got no motivation to work. So I was like, okay, let's do success and motivation.
Okay, I think that's a great topic.
Yeah.
Different
I think
people
that's
are
a good-
motivated by different things.
For sure. I like. In fact, I just had this conversation with my son because he's doing his A levels.
Okay.
While he's in the army, right? Like he's
Wow.
because he. But he's like, I don't know if I actually want to go to university, and I'm like, okay,
Oh.
that's like,
Wow, that's quite tough. huh?
yeah. So they're not motivated at all. They want to just wing it. I feel, So I said, okay, no problem. You're staying with who's paying your rent right now? Who's buying your clothes right now? Who's paying for your phone right now?
Yeah, but
like
without
eventually you want to do that, right?
But without mentioning money, because then people say, "Oh yeah, that's teaching your kid to be materialistic."
Yeah, no.
Just tell him, "You want that Ferrari?" Or not?
But I think it's just I think like I feel like our parents also told us this, that you're not doing it for me, you're doing it for yourself. I
Yeah.
don't think that works anymore, because they're like, yeah, but myself, I don't want to study.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah,
leave me
so it
alone.
doesn't
It
work,
doesn't
yeah.
work.
You let me talk to him. I'll go let
Sure.
you see. You're a good-looking boy.
Yeah.
Good looks plus a lot of money. That's a perfect combination. You don't want to be like good looking and then no money. Then you have to hustle your whole life.
It's true. That might you never know, that might hit the
Come,
nail on
let
the
me talk to him. You make the arrangements. I bring him out for a few drinks. Talk to Uncle Glenn.
Kiss 92.
I listen all day. My favorite station. We love it.
Kiss 92.
Turn it up.
Waking up Singapore. Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to Tuesday's edition of The Big Show and The Big Show TV on YouTube as well as Facebook. We have the one, the only, the beautiful, the talented, the motivational, the inspirational, Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room.
It gets to a point, it's very cringy.
It's very cringy. Only for you, not for us.
I like making you cringe. Okay, so today we're talking about success and motivation.
Yes, success and motivation. And I'm going to, I think all of you never got the question, so I'm going to
What do you
jump.
mean?
No,
Our
I
producers work very hard. They sent me your questions, like, the questions
I know Cheyenne works
and the
very
pointers last
hard.
night.
We've got it.
Yeah, we've
So
got
the
it.
very first point is your
Quarterly
quarterly
check-in.
check-in. Angel's
Oh, no.
face just went,
No, because I
So
always
fast.
write it down and I always
Yeah.
email it to Shalini.
Yeah.
Quarterly check-in, that's what it means.
Five, is it 3 C's? 5 C's? 2 C's? 3 C's and 2 S's? 3 C's.
It's the ABPQ.
3?
3 S's.
3
and 2 C's.
S's.
Okay, I think you
Yes.
need to elaborate for those people who are just tuning in
Yes.
for the first time.
Yes, so from the beginning of the year, we've been doing this little exercise, the 3 S's and 2 C's, which is the five things are start, stop, suspend, continue, and change. So we've been doing quarterly check-ins because we say we give ourselves 3 months and we'll check in again, right?
June 11th was our last one.
Yeah.
I got it here.
Wow.
Got it in my email.
So you're a doctor. You have our records there with you.
So I purposefully did not bring it. I knew Glenn
Of
was
course
going to
not.
do that,
I
right?
don't know if
Yeah.
FD has his.
No, I have mine at home. I just didn't bring it in today.
Okay, I'm sure Shalini took notes somewhere.
Yes,
No,
do
she
I
didn't.
have mine?
No, of course not.
I have no idea what I said the last time.
I knew it. So, anyways, third check-in. What I wanted to just check in is also where we are. So you realize that most of us are like that. The first check-in, we're really, really excited about it. Everything is novel. Second check-in, we go like, okay, we're getting there. And then third check-in is almost like third trimester, get the baby out.
No, it's because I think for a lot of people it's because you're all gung ho about it when you start, and then I can, and then after that nothing changes. And I think that's why we put it aside.
So is it nothing changes, or there are different circumstances, different situations that happen, and different priorities that has shifted?
But also nothing changes because you don't
You
make
don't
a
work hard.
conscious
Yes.
effort to
Yes.
make that change,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then you get disappointed, but you get disappointed with yourself. But you kind of say, oh, nothing's changed. Okay, let's just move on.
Yeah.
But you don't.
Or is it
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it very mundane? Because you have your list with you, it gets a little bit routine. Then it gets a bit bland. And you feel like, oh, okay, I'm doing it day in, day out. It's a bit boring already. Yeah. So sometimes it's because it's so routine, you feel that there is no change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Glenn is
No,
like,
no,
I'm not
He
participating.
can't relate,
I
yeah.
don't
No,
know.
no. I'm quite sure. My list has changed like 100%, because I just feel like the past few months, right, how I've been going about my life, right, it's just like I've just been very free to just do stuff that makes me happy, and but at the same time I'm very careful not to overdo things. The only thing I'm overdoing right now is drinking, I think.
Yeah.
that I think I said that the last time around as well.
Yeah.
Like maybe I shouldn't drink so much on
you
the golf
said,
course.
and then
No?
you retracted it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
So he said and then decided he doesn't want it said. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
toothpaste coming out of a tube. You can't put it back in.
Like I was supposed to go for my yearly checkup, right? Every year I go for my yearly checkup. So the nurse calls me from the clinic, right, and goes like, "Okay, Glenn, it's time for your blood test." I'm like, "Are you crazy? I just came back from Bangkok." I'm like, it's like my liver and everything is gonna be red probably. Okay, give me a few months.
It's like my
And
blood
then-
is my alcohol.
Yes.
That's
And that is not. I mean, some people may say, but that is the
It's a
it's
true
real.
test,
It's a true
yeah.
test, but it's not a true test, because when you go to Bangkok and you drink, it's different from drinking here, right?
Okay,
So that's anyway. Don't drink too much. All right, let's continue to talk to Gerry on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Jessie Ware and Romy lift you up on Kiss 92.
Well, I'm not panicking because I have my list. So
No, it's interesting what Gerry is saying about it getting mundane and, it falls by the wayside, and I say nothing changes. And I have found that. Yes, I want to start this. I want to stop that. I want to suspend this. I
You
want to
actually,
continue
yeah.
this. I want to change
I've
it.
worked with him for many, many years. Wait, now you're talking
Yeah.
about yourself, right?
Yeah.
This guy, I tell you, over the years, he's been talking about starting many things.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. The only thing he continues is that he works very hard. He hosts his shows, he works his events and all. But everything else that he wants to start,
Yeah, it's because you want to start, you want to stop, you want to suspend, you want to change, you want to continue. But at the end of the day, where I am, I'm happy.
your
Then-
comfort
So
zone.
then, why do you want to start anything?
That's
then?
why.
Because the thought was put in my mind. It wouldn't have been there if the thought hadn't
But
been
I
put in
think
my
Glenn
mind.
is right. You're in your comfort zone, and
I
you
am.
feel like you don't want to be outside of that comfort zone,
And-
which is fine.
And there's nothing wrong with
No,
that.
because
nothing
the,
wrong.
the
Nothing
things
wrong.
that he
Yeah.
wants to start, right, takes effort. It's not. It doesn't come naturally to him.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
comfortable.
Is
Yes.
it laziness to learn something new? I mean, I'm just
It
wondering.
may well be. It may
I'm
well
not calling
be.
you lazy.
No, I
I'm
understand
saying
what you're saying.
laziness
No, I
to
understand
learn
what you're saying.
something
I
new.
understand what you're saying, and it may well be.
Yeah.
It may well be.
Okay. To each his own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have 3 more months before the year ends.
What? Only 3?
Yeah.
107 days left.
Yeah. That's all you got.
No.
We only have
100
3 more months.
Yeah, 3 more months.
to
yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Christmas coming.
Wow.
107 days to Christmas.
Oh, you got
I'm counting.
She starts counting in June.
Yeah. I have my tab open, days to Christmas.
nice. I
Okay.
love Christmas. So 3 more months. I don't need the 3 S's and 2 C's yet. I need us to think what we want to accomplish by the end of the year.
Do you know when she started this? 26th of December 2023. I
I need
have it
that.
on my email. 26th of
Yes.
December, and it's almost a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the
What do you
question
need?
again?
Sorry? What was it again?
These children never listen.
What do we want to achieve by December?
Yeah. So just one thing that now takes priority that you want to accomplish by the end of the year.
Okay. My washboard tummy.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm having a bit of an issue there. Can't get flat enough fast enough.
I just get fat enough.
80% in the gym, 20% in the kitchen. No, actually, 80% in the kitchen. Abs are made in the
Yeah,
kitchen, right?
abs
They
are
say.
made in the kitchen,
And then 20% working out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you eat or drink.
Correct.
Yeah, alcohol, because alcohol like puts on a lot of extra weight that you don't want. What do I want by December?
By December.
I want.
I don't know.
No, you said already.
Oh, okay.
You only allowed one.
I know.
While they're thinking, if not, there'll be silence.
One.
I don't
Another
know.
tattoo.
Didn't you just get one?
Yeah, I
I
thought
know.
you just get good
It's
one.
starting to feel itchy now, no? Because
It's
no, as in like
healing.
it's
It's healing, yeah.
very itchy.
Were you drunk when you
Oh.
got that tattoo?
No.
Okay.
Okay, think about it, because then we want to look at the barriers to success. So earlier I mentioned, being very mundane. It's not quite a barrier, but FD was saying, being in that comfort zone. Yeah, so it's not a barrier, but sometimes we classify it and we hear words like you're lazy, you're not trying hard enough, but they're comfortable.
Why my question to that statement, when everybody says, why don't you try this and why don't you do that? And I go, why do I need to if I'm perfectly happy where I am?
It's
Yeah.
it's not about need.
Because
it's want.
you brought it up.
If
How
you
about
want
that?
to, then you'll do
Yeah,
it.
no, but people say, why don't you do?
Oh,
And then I go, why? I'm happy with what I have and where I am.
You're content.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it is my comfort zone, I'll admit.
Yeah.
But why? Why do I need to do anything
Correct.
more? Why do I need to stress myself out?
But interestingly, what you just said is what some students actually say. Why don't you do one more paper? Why don't you flip your textbook one more time? But
Why?
I'm okay. I think I'm comfortable.
And how do you argue that?
Well, parents will say, go do. It helps you.
Yeah.
It's just going to be good for you. And I know parents do that with the best of intentions, but they're not listening to the kid.
Yeah, and I had parents who did that, and I found it very detrimental to my exam results.
No.
So,
can you?
so
That
what would you
extra-
suggest?
That extra mile just made me more tired,
Yeah.
and I wasn't focused when I went into an exam because I was tired
Yeah. Or
But
more
what-
stressed.
okay.
and more stressed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like parents know best. Seriously. I mean,
Always.
I always rebelled, right? I never listened to them, but I know deep down inside that, you know,
They
whatever,
want the best.
They
whatever
want the
they
best for you.
advised me on at that time, if I had listened to them, today I'll be a minister, I think.
But how
Either a
do
minister, a doctor, or a lawyer.
how do you suggest parents deal with it then? You know what I mean? Like you said earlier, parents are not listening to the kids. Then what should they say? Because clearly the parents can, most parents can
Most
see,
parents,
okay,
yes.
maybe the child is not trying hard enough. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you know the
Yeah.
child has potential. And you just want that little motivational push. You don't want to run the child down, obviously, or get the child tired. So what can parents say nicely
Yeah,
that
yeah,
the
yeah.
parents will listen, that the kids will listen?
It's really, what have you done? What else do you want to do? So if we had asked
Nothing.
FD, what have you done already? You've done 3 papers. Do you want to do anything else, or do you think you can, do, anything else?
So, but what if the kid says no? I'm done. You know what I mean?
Then no lah.
Yeah.
But if you seed it and you ask the child might think and go like, okay, I think I can push myself. But then there is a buy-in and it's voluntary.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, if it comes from the kid.
I wish the kids are tuned in right now. I'll tell all you kids, listen to your parents.
Yeah.
80% of the parents out there are correct. Only 20% may be a bit extreme. Okay, let's, it's true.
When we
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, I suggest if you can take the train into work today, that might be a great idea. We've had a message come in that someone has said, avoid the CTE towards the city at all costs. Towards Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1's exit area, it's been backed up to Lentor and beyond. Quite a bad accident. An ambulance and about 3 police cars. 3 lanes have been blocked. So please avoid the CTE altogether. Elsewhere on the PIE towards Tuas, after the CTE city exit, avoid lane 4. An accident has been spotted as well. And on the BKE towards the PIE after the KJE exit, a vehicle's broken down. Once again, if you haven't left home yet, take the train because it is a mess out there, and stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room, and we're talking about success and motivation.
And we were talking about trying to motivate a child. 2 things have been said on our Facebook, and I think they're very interesting. One from Eng, who says, typical Asian mentality is to use the stick instead of the carrot when it comes to motivation.
Yep.
Johnny Ong then goes, Dr. Geraldine, what is motivation?
Very good question. So I guess the stick and carrot, we don't really need to talk about that. So what is motivation? Motivation is, and I often say, it's having a goal, having a purpose. And when we look at ourselves, what is our goal? So when we started the year, everybody was made to think what they want to start, stop, suspend, continue, change. And like, what you mentioned, FD, I put it on you. So you felt compelled to
To think
I
of
need
something.
to do something. And Glenn was like, okay, you ask me to do now, I do it now. After that, I forget about it.
Yes, that's exactly it.
So the motivation didn't come from the self. It came from external. Yeah, only Angel was a really good student and continued to do, and somewhere, it still felt like I want to park it aside and I'll revisit it when I need to.
3 months later.
Yeah. So it is not your purpose. It is not your goal, which is why by the 3rd check-in, if it's not working, we're saying ditch it. Look at what you really want to accomplish in the next 3 months.
But these are things that we wanted to accomplish at
Yes.
that point in
we
time.
thought we wanted to accomplish. Yeah, so we were told that we can, so it's like, oh, it is good for me. So therefore, I would want to put it down on my list. It's not what I actually want.
I remember now.
Huh?
What I said I wanted to achieve by the end of the year. I wanted to achieve a 10 handicap for my
Yes, that's
golf.
possible.
That's right.
Remember?
That's right.
Remember?
I remember that.
Yeah. I wanted to bring my handicap down to 10.
And
Well,
where are
I'm
you
glad
now?
to say I'm at 19.5 right now.
Oh, okay. It seems like a far away.
So it's not going to happen.
okay.
But it's okay. I'm still happy.
Weren't you much lower before? No. Were you ever lower than 19.5?
I was at 15, but that's because I was penalized for not submitting my scores.
Is it wrong for us to say, by the end of the year, I want to maintain the status quo?
No.
Nothing wrong, I
No,
guess.
right.
If things are
With that.
really nice, why would
Yeah.
you want to change anything?
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Gerry on the Big Show TV, okay? It's 8:21.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you
Unless
And
things
48
are really
seconds.
unless things are really, really bad, if someone's having a really good time in their lives, if they don't want to change anything, then it's okay, right?
And remember, it's you that decides good or bad, not the
But
person
not
anybody
next,
else.
not the
Yeah.
person next to you.
Yeah, interesting what you said, because one of the 5 things is continue.
Yeah.
So if that takes precedence in the 5 areas, then we continue to do whatever that you want to do.
Okay. Okay.
okay.
Interesting.
Yep. So barriers. So I have internal and external barriers. So internal barriers would be our emotions and self-doubt.
Limitations,
I'll just
yeah.
pull out only 2 of it. And then external would be like things like illnesses and other people's expectations. So this is a big one. And most of us, I would dare say 80 to 90% of us default to other people's expectations, especially societal expectations.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so not only the parents, not only partners, not only friends, but also society at large.
Yeah, yeah. I had a friend who was a model back in the day, and she used to go very grey. She was young, she started young and maybe in her 20s. So she constantly had to color her hair. And then as soon as she stopped modeling, she was able to just go all grey, and so she's so much happier. Because society expected her to
Yeah.
constantly have that perfect black or brown or red hair.
I see.
They would never have hired her if she had her grey hair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. I mean, here in Singapore, especially, market's not ready for that.
Yeah.
I think
Not for
today.
women,
I think
especially.
today it is. Back
No,
in
I don't
even
think
today?
so.
I don't
No.
think so. So
I don't think
quite
so.
agree with Angel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be like controversial for me to say this, but yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I say controversial because I'm a man, right? And,
Yeah.
and so I should be a bit more sensitive when I talk about these
Yeah.
things. But yeah, I don't think Singapore is
Ready
quite
for that.
ready, for that.
Especially for women.
No,
'Cause
I'm
I
talking
have
about mainly for women.
Mainly for men, because I have grays under.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not terribly gray, but if I were to just let it go all gray,
Right.
there would be a certain stigma.
Yeah.
And it's ageism.
That's horrible.
100%. For men, it's easy.
That's
You guys can go
absolutely
gray whenever
horrible.
you want.
No, I think I'm like, I dye my hair.
Yeah.
I highlight my hair whenever I go to the salon, right?
I think you could pull it off, though. I mean, if you were to go gray, I think
Glenn
you
would
could.
be a very good-looking gray.
No. Oof.
No, and I
Big
wouldn't dare.
embarrassed
I
now.
wouldn't dare to go gray because I think I
Wow.
won't be hired.
That's so much pressure on you.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of lucky because I'm not gray.
Gray.
But other
Yeah.
people have to dye their hair like every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's
God.
I do think I'll look more distinguished though with gray hair. Maybe people will take me a bit more seriously.
Maybe.
Like, hey, this fella is not. He's okay. That.
Oh, he's not as young as we thought he
Exactly.
was.
Yes.
It's not a child.
Jerry, Benjamin asks on our Facebook page,
Yes.
which, he's asking for your comments on this. Motivation is temporary. Inspiration is more sustainable.
Oh, okay. Motivate. I would say it's the other way around. You get inspired, but so all of you, when I do the quarterly check-in, or when I asked you or told you about the concept of the three C's, the three S's and two C's, you're very inspired by it. But motivation comes from inside. Yeah, the motivation, or if there is external, if somebody is pushing you along. So having the quarterly check-in, I was pushing you all along. But it doesn't mean that external is very useful if there's no internal. So you need to balance that a little bit.
3 S's and 2 C's. Okay, Shalini, you just write that on the whiteboard later, so I will never forget this. 3 S's and 2 C's. Okay, so whenever I turn to my right, I look at the board. Okay, 3 S's and 2 C's. If not, I
It's
forget.
start, stop. Doesn't matter the order, right?
No,
Start, stop, suspend, and then continue, change.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll all remember.
Oh, I remember. It's in my email.
See, only
All I
you
have to do is
you're
search.
a teacher's pet, that's why.
But I never was, though. I was
Really?
like one of the worst. I never was.
I've always been the worst.
I was the
Okay,
kid in the back.
stop.
Suspend.
Oh, she's really writing
Yes.
down.
And
Helps,
then
it helps. Change and continue.
continue. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Continue and
got it.
change.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
she said
Doesn't matter
it's
the
a-
order.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
Doesn't matter.
There, you want to be teacher's pet or something.
I'm not trying to be teacher's pet. I'm not
but-
like you.
But the internal one, the self-talk, is very important also. So what we tell ourselves and how we feel about ourselves. So a little bit of CBT concept, cognitive behavioral therapy concept, which we often use in the therapy, is I would put it as a triangle. So you have thoughts, feelings, and then right at the top is action. So thoughts, feelings, action. But I like to tell the children we want to change our thoughts and feelings so that our actions, and it becomes a heart.
Oh.
Yeah, so if it's a triangle, it points everywhere and it shoots everywhere, and it's not pleasant.
It's sharp.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
soft, yeah.
So you want to actually change it so it becomes a little heart.
So it's upside down. The other way
upside
around.
down, yeah.
Feel
So
like pushing your thumbs up a little
you-
bit and become a diamond.
you soften the thoughts, you soften the feelings, and and the behavior, and then it becomes a little heart.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk to the children. I feel like, sometimes we just need to tell the kids, right? Just listen to your parents.
No,
Like just to help them out, because it's hard for the parents to say, listen to me. But let's say, for me, right, Uncle Glenn, okay, on the radio, just listen to your parents.
Do you think that's a good piece of advice coming from someone, not saying someone who doesn't have kids, just someone external, anybody, to say, just listen to your parents? Because parents are not always right.
Yeah, but
They're not
that's the
always
reason why I
right.
say I feel majority of the time they are right. Of course, there will be, that when they are wrong, it's the minority.
But you see, wrong and right is relative, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would rather go this way and tell them to listen to their parents, because rather than rebel against your parents, just do as much as what your parents tell you, because they have the experience
And they have your best interests
Exactly.
at heart. Our parents
Exactly.
always said that,
No,
right?
but I understand totally where Glenn is coming from. But I also want to say to the parents, be careful with what you say,
Yeah.
because you are influencing how your child feels about themselves.
And
Did
don't
you
try.
did you be careful about what you said?
I
your
have
kids.
been very conscious about what I've said.
But even that, sometimes parents
You make
get
a
it
mistake.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Of
yeah.
course.
I've always told my children, you watch mommy and daddy, make up your mind what's right and what's good, and remember that.
But
And what is bad,
Yeah.
you don't make the same mistake.
But you see, every family is different. So this is where that subjectiveness comes
Yeah.
in as
Yeah.
well. Just like in a relationship, external parties cannot tell a couple exactly what to do because they're experiencing stuff. Sometimes parents observe their kids
Yeah.
and they go like, okay, this is what I need to advise my kid to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, granted.
But there are some. So we often talk about like the words that we use. Okay, so today we have 10 negative thinking styles. I think we had gone through that many sessions ago, but we can revisit that. And I think it's also useful for parents to note how they are speaking.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, labeling. We often label ourselves, I'm so stupid, I'm a failure. But sometimes other people do it to us also. Oh, how come you are not as good as? And do the comparison. So labeling sounds like, oh, you fail or you're a failure. Okay, nowadays parents don't typically say that, but they tend to say, oh, why are you so stupid?
I heard that the other day. I was out over the weekend, and this mother was scolding her child in public, which I absolutely detest. And she was grabbing her school bag, chucking it on the floor, and screaming at the child, calling her stupid, and this and that. And her husband was just standing there, like, unable to say anything, picked up the girl's school bag. She took it from the husband, and she's like, don't you carry it for... And it's just like... And it's like... that's the one thing I detest, is when people do it in public.
Yeah, it's very hard for the husband also. So I
but
think...
also for the child. I mean, the poor kid, I'm sure there was something... I don't know the context of it. I'm sure she did something. But to demoralize your child in public. That kid goes back and cries in their bed, cries in the corner of the house. It's very, very upsetting.
Nothing justifies public humiliation.
Nothing.
I take it up a level. This happened at Ion about, I think, 2 months ago. It's coming from the car park. This couple was also heading to the lift to go down to basement 4. And it was a lady and a Caucasian man who had a beautiful kid. And the mom was scolding the kid and then scolding the husband also, calling the husband stupid.
Oh my gosh.
I was standing there and I was like, just so awkward. Although it was just us.
Yeah. You're in the lift.
Just outside the lift. It's like, oh my God.
Can you imagine at home?
Yeah, calling, as in like scolding the kid, like what you mentioned, right? The mom scolding the kid.
And then the husband.
And then the husband got it as well. You stupid man or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Which is why that husband was keeping quiet.
Yeah, but he knew what was what was best for him. But that's so awful.
Oh my God.
Public humiliation. Okay, traffic coming up.
Kiss 92 traffic.
That song just now was for the Pope board. We pray.
Wait.
The Pope is coming to town.
That's right. He'll be in town tomorrow. Okay, let's do our traffic because there's a lot going on out there. We've had one person message in about 10 situations. BKE to Woodlands checkpoint before Bukit Panjang exit lane 1 and lane 2. An accident. Looks like a fatal one actually. CTE to AYE after Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5's exit, lane 1 and lane 2, another accident. PIE to Changi Airport after Paya Lebar exit, lane 1, another accident. Also at the ECP to City, another accident at the Marine Parade entrance. And going on to Jurong Island checkpoint system, there's a lot of traffic there, so there might be a problem getting onto that island if that's where you work. I think this is coming to us from a private hire driver, so thank you very much. I think he or she has gathered their members, because it says members on the road, drive carefully and drive safely, so good luck. So I think this is a combined effort from everybody. If you have any other news for us, you can always WhatsApp us 88550920.
We're back on The Big Show and The Big Show TV, which is available on Facebook as well as YouTube. Now, if you'd like to send us some messages for Dr. Geraldine Tan, you can do so either on Facebook or our WhatsApp, 88550920, or YouTube.
That's right. That's at youtube.com/kiss92.
All right. So it's success and motivation this morning.
Yes, and we are talking about negative thinking styles, and we oftentimes hear it from other people and we do it to ourselves. So the very first one, we were talking about labeling, and it got quite a lot of emotions from all of you. Now I'm going to shift to the next one, jumping to conclusions. So oftentimes we jump to conclusions. We see something and we say this equals this, and we don't give ourselves any leeway. So parents also tend to do that to the children. Oh, you said this, or they walk into the room and the child is on the phone or on a device and say, oh, so you haven't been studying.
But this is my break time. You happen to walk in just when I picked it up.
Yes, it happens all the time, and I thought it would never happen to me. And then every time I go in, the kids are like, but we studied very hard just now, and I go like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Oldest trick in the book.
But jumping to conclusion, many of us jump to conclusions. Parents tend to do that, so let's be careful to listen to the children if we want them to listen to us. So the other one are should statements. Oh, I hate this.
Should statements.
You should do this.
Oh,
you
should
must
statements.
do that. You should. So just now we were talking about doing another paper or studying, doing another piece of revision. You should go and study. You should. So with the best of intentions, right? But it does get a bit painful for the ears and painful for the person, because you're prescribing something. So we all had experienced it. When I was pregnant, people would say, you should not wear heels. You should not reach overhead.
It's like an order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very uncomfortable for the receiver. Yet we also do it to ourselves. I should be getting up early. I should be exercising. I should be eating clean. So the should is a very harsh statement also, or the must is a
Yeah.
very harsh
So
statement.
what should we change those words?
I think
How
must is
should-
harsher than should.
Oh, both are.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
if I were to use it myself, I must do this. I think I feel better than saying I should do this. Should doesn't seem so permanent. I should do this, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I must do this seems, if I said
Or
it to
you must.
myself,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
say no to myself, for myself, then I think I would listen to myself more. But that's personal for me. I feel I would say I would listen to myself more if I said I must.
Oftentimes we change it with the question, how can I do my exercise? What can I do? What can I use to help myself? Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's continue to talk to Gerry on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Janet Jackson with Feedback on Kiss 92.
Wow, we haven't heard from her in a while.
Janet Jackson.
Yes.
Rhythm Nation. Well, somehow it always goes back to that album.
Yes. Another one that I want to highlight is actually personalization. When you hear this, you would cringe. Often clients would come into the session and say, one of my parents would always say, oh, it's because of me, that's why your turn out like that.
I've
Heard that one.
before, yeah.
And what do you expect the adult kid or the child to do, right? They're like, we're left helpless. But we do that to ourselves also. It's because of me, therefore this situation has occurred.
That's not so bad though. What about blame? It's because of you, and that's why this happened.
I've
Which
actually
is
heard
different,
that.
right?
But they're not because of you, but I've heard the line, if I didn't have children.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh my God, imagine how your kids now feel.
Oh dear!
Oh, if I
would
didn't have
be so
children.
much more successful and so much richer and so much happier and.
Which
That's
is
a
all
terrible
true,
thing.
actually.
Oh no, Glenn! Stop it! You can't say
Thanks.
that now because you have no kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, so you are.
I'm just being honest here. It's like, it's true. Because that's why the kids need to recognize the sacrifices that the parents have gone through.
Granted.
These things need to be said, you see. Sometimes the kids don't think about things like that. But it's true.
But I think-
it's how it's delivered, the message is delivered to the kids.
But also, parents, you have children because you want children.
You chose to have them.
You're not going to turn around and say, I sacrifice all this so that you can live your
Which
life. No,
just goes to show
no
where
parent
the
should say
parent is
that.
at before the parent says something
no,
like
but
that.
no parent should say that because
No.
it's you have children because you want children.
If your kid is like the Flying Dutchman, you want to like kill yourself.
Oh.
Because he's such a rebel before, such a troublemaker
Right,
and
right.
all
You're
that.
not wrong.
You
Yeah,
should stop talking
Getting
now.
caned in school.
You must stop talking now.
But I want to speak for the teens, right? Or the children. So usually teens, because they are the ones that can share with me, they're more articulate. When you mentioned about parents saying, "Oh, my life would be easier without you,"
I didn't mention that he did.
And-
There you go. Not me.
I mean, you
Yeah.
The teens had said this before, for at least for those that can share with me. They said, "But I didn't choose to be born.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't choose to study. I didn't choose this life. I didn't choose everything that is given to me now. It is not my choice. So why are you putting it on me?" So
And-
sometimes I have a little rent in my room, or or they rent in my room, and we permit that because I can't answer that because it's absolutely true, right?
And I can't remember where I heard this, but apparently in the US, there's some child that's suing their parents for being born.
Yes.
So you see what I
the
mean?
US.
For being born, said I never asked to be. I never asked to be conceived and born.
See what happens when you give your kids too much face? I'm telling
It
you.
doesn't happen all the
Sometimes-
time. This
No.
is one
No,
out of.
a kid is a kid. Okay, I'm not talking
Until
about a
they're
teen.
not.
No, I'm not talking about a teen, right? But I think too many parents talk to their kids as if they're adults, and I think that's wrong. Really, there will come a time where you know that they're mature enough. They're kind of they can have a proper discussion with you.
oh, homework.
But when you're, I think Gerry has probably seen, this more often. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes parents treat their kids like adults too early.
Too early, yes. Yes, too early, yes.
Too early.
Oh, black and white thinking. Okay, what is this, Dr. Jerry?
Yes, so in line with the cognitive behavioral therapy and the negative thinking styles, this is one of the negative thinking styles, the black and white thinking, also known as all or nothing thinking. So sometimes we tell ourselves in very definitive terms and we place things, people, ourselves into categories. So what we want is to try and allow ourselves to think about the grays in between. So we're supposed to reframe our thoughts, especially when they don't have all the evidence that shows that it is 100%. So you can think of a black and white thought. So some of the black and white thoughts are, I'm not good enough if I don't get a job. I'm like lazy if I don't exercise 5 times a week. Whoever said that you need to exercise 5 times a week, right? I can't have both good grades and a social life. So these are unhelpful thoughts that we give ourselves, and we stay with the thought very rigidly. So we want to try and see how we can reframe the thought.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not as easy. So these are things that we do in the session. So for those tuning in, they are having a little session right now. Trying to...
But these are, I think, a certain type of person as well.
Person, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone who we always refer to as someone who thinks too much. Who
What, the black and white thought person?
yes, correct.
Not
you
necessarily. I think it's thinking too little that
What do you
they get
mean?
like that. Because
if a friend doesn't call me back within an hour, they don't care about me as
but-
an example, right?
Yeah,
No.
but then like you
You're
see
thinking too much, what?
you reframe that thought.
Yeah.
If you think deeper into it, then you will tell yourself that there are many other reasons my friend might not have been able to call me back right now.
Correct, but I'm not thinking about the reframe thing. I'm thinking about what has
Too much
brought
time to think,
the
is it?
first as in
first thought.
as in the first thought, the black and white thought in the first place, right? Because if you're someone who is just he's not gonna call me back, doesn't mean he doesn't care about me.
No.
But there are some people whom you need
I
to work
get
it out
what you
why.
mean. So this is a negative thought. So
Yeah.
it's just, and the person can just stay with that belief. I think when you talk about thinking too much, there are those that have a lot of association. If my friend doesn't call me back within an hour, they don't care about me. Therefore, I'm not important to them. Therefore, they're gonna oust me from the friend group.
Right.
I'm not gonna be included anymore. I'm gonna be lonely. I'm gonna be lonely forever. So they start to spiral.
Yeah.
So that's probably the other thoughts that you're talking
Yeah,
to.
this sounds like a girl as well. A lot of my girlfriends in the past. Oh, didn't call me back. Within like
Aiyo.
20 minutes or whatever. He doesn't love me, doesn't care about me. And then
dear.
after that,
I only
Quarrel.
see
But
Angel
nowadays
and
there's
FD doing.
a lot of that, right? Especially with phones and all that. You see
Yeah.
the blue tick. Oh my goodness, this person has read my message. Why is he not
Yeah.
replying? You know what I mean? I've had those thoughts as well. I just didn't write that one down now because it's very close to
Yep,
the
yep,
other
because
you
stuff.
could be in a meeting, right? You just open it. Yeah,
Open
you've
it, look
seen the
at it,
message, but
okay.
you
Sure,
can't
sure.
really
and you get to
focus
it
and reply right now.
You get to
you
it
know?
later. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We live in an instant world.
Yeah,
Exactly. So mine is my Grab driver this morning was rude and angry. But then my reframe thought is perhaps he's had a bad day
Yep.
or just found out that he or a family member is unwell
Yeah.
or lost
Okay.
someone or
Okay.
whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay, so you have an alternative thought there.
It's not a reframe thought?
That's not quite a reframe
Okay.
thought. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But it works. It works.
Okay.
At least you put some thought into it. FD, you want to try?
Wait, hang on. I'm reframing.
Okay, okay.
I don't know what to write.
It's okay.
What is your straight up black and white thought? It's a very out of context thought, isn't it?
This is sometimes my mom
Taking
says,
things out of context,
I have
right?
nothing in my brain.
Okay, we're coming back on air for traffic again.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, once again, it is not pretty out there. There are a lot of situations. Either you work from home or you take the train. On the SLE towards the CTE after the Lento Avenue exit, avoid lanes 1 and 2, an accident. On the PIE towards Tuas after the KPE exit, avoid lane 2 as well, a vehicle's broken down. On the TPE towards the SLE at the Yio Chu Kang Road exit, look out for a stationary vehicle. And finally, on the SLE towards the CTE before the TPE exit, another broken down vehicle. Kundan also messaged in and said the traffic jam on the PIE is crawling all the way from Bedok to exit 15A. Lane 2 is blocked. So if you're stuck there, you know that lane 2 is blocked. Try and get out of the way. If you have any other news, it's 885550
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We are live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. If you've got a question for Dr. Geraldine Tan, you can send us your question via Facebook, YouTube, or our WhatsApp, 88550920. We're talking about black and white thinking right now. Could you just explain this to our listeners?
Yes, so
Dr.
it's
Gerry.
one of the 10 negative thinking styles. So we have the all or nothing thinking. So very rigid, very extreme sort of thinking. You park someone into a category and then you leave them there or you leave yourself there. So I think earlier Angel mentioned about the rude and angry Grab driver, and then you kind of shifted it and say, okay, I'm going to be kind to him. Maybe he found out about something. But what we want to do with the all or nothing thinking is to look for the gray and not look for an excuse.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
shifting it a little bit because you don't have evidence of that also.
No.
Right?
You're just
But-
assuming. I'm just assuming.
Yeah. So it's an assumption. But really, the Grab driver can be a little bit rude or appears angry. So I changed the word now, appears angry, because it's a perception, right?
Yeah.
So it could be that Grab driver just had a really angry face. Some people just have faces that look quite intimidating if they don't smile at you. Maybe it's early morning and you took the cab quite early.
Yeah.
And perhaps he just had a morning voice and was like gruffy. Yeah. So we don't have enough evidence. We want to look for the smaller evidence that
So it's
might
not-
be possible.
It's not about making
Yeah.
excuse for the person's
No,
behavior.
it's not an
Okay.
excuse. So, but it is a possibility that it is early in the morning. We all have that early morning voice. I don't feel like talking when it's really, really early in the morning. I will wake up and do stuff, but don't talk to me in the morning. Short sentences may come across as angry.
This is
Yeah,
Right,
but,
so
you know,
reframing
but-
is not to explain it.
No.
But I completely
Okay.
understand why. I mean, it kind of like almost ruined your mood, right? When
Yeah.
you
Yes,
know, because it's the
definitely,
first thing you
definitely.
experience in the
Yes,
morning,
yes.
and you feel like he's part of the service industry as well. So at least be pleasant. If you're not really in a good mood, just be quiet. Don't talk too
I
much.
just want to qualify that it wasn't my Grab driver this morning, because my Grab driver this morning
Was
is a
a nice-
regular Grab driver and he listens in.
Good morning.
Morning,
his,
mate.
his name is Thomas.
Morning,
Hello,
Thomas. Not you.
It's not you, okay, Thomas. I like Thomas. He comes in, he waits for me if I'm running a little bit late. And today he was like, "Oh, you're a little bit late for the show today." I'm like, "No, I'll get there on time." But it's not Thomas. I was just trying to make a story up because of the exercise.
Oh wait, so it never happened.
No, it has
Oh,
happened.
okay.
I was coming up with an example of what could have happened.
Right. Then FD? Yeah,
Okay,
sorry,
no.
Jerry, I can't think of anything.
No, because
no worries.
I only do this because it relates to me and it's something that happened in a relationship a long time ago. So the statement I came up with is, I don't meet your standards and therefore I'm a failure.
Oh no.
But when I got out of that relationship, and again, it's not reframing now, because I understand what you mean by reframing. I explained it to myself by, I didn't communicate my dreams and my desires to you, which is why I didn't meet your standards and I was a failure.
But I feel like that's an excuse that you're making up for why the person was like that.
Maybe.
You
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
you're trying to find an excuse as to why you didn't explain,
Maybe.
and that's why she thought
She
like
thought
that.
that-
I
like
don't
that.
think that's it. I think you guys just didn't sync.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's how I feel
Maybe.
at least.
Maybe.
Dr. Jerry?
Well, it can be. Like I say, it is not wrong. Whatever that you're doing is really not wrong, and it's very good start. But you can see how difficult it is
Yeah.
for even all of us
Yeah.
to practice it, try it, and it does take a lot of practice, which is why you do need to exercise, emotional exercise.
So I know we need to wrap up, but what would his reframing be for something like that?
So his would be, I don't meet your standards, therefore
Therefore, I'm
I'm
a
a
failure.
failure. So his would not quite be that. His would be
When was this, FD? Long
labeling.
time ago. Lah.
I'm a failure.
You still remember
Sorry?
it?
Yeah.
This is labeling.
Yeah. So for me, the important thing was, yes, I didn't meet this, but I'm
were
a failure.
labeled.
In your eyes, I'm a failure.
So it's labeling. So his would be slightly different exercise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to say that the first thing I hear in the morning makes all the difference in the world.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about like music or whatever. I have a message that I set in my car, because now cars, right, kind of like
Can
you
talk to you,
Can
yeah.
talk to you.
Yeah.
So
What
I've
is it?
changed it from the last time. What was
Okay.
the last
I
time?
don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what your car says to you.
Okay, so the moment I go into the car, no.
What is it?
Moment I go into the car, only basically she'll say, "Good morning, you filthy animal."
Oh, okay. Well, if that turns you on, sure.
Yeah, no, but I've changed it. I've changed
Oh,
it up
you've
a little
changed
bit.
it. What is it now?
So now it's like, and it puts a smile on my face, and I just feel so nice.
What
it's
did
like,
she say?
"Good morning, you filthy, horny animal."
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I see the difference
Oh
there.
my god!
But it's just for fun, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like you go in there, and the first thing you hear, and it's like, I can't help but smile.
And you start
Cheyenne
giggling,
has given the red
Yeah.
card.
Okay,
How
red
many
card. No,
times already?
red card means Colette Wong is waiting to read the news.
No, it's Jamit Singh.
Jamit Singh.
Yes,
I mean.
yeah.
Okay, Jamit Singh is ready. So
Okay.
Jerry,
Anyways,
over to you.
3 things to focus on a goal: target, I believe I am and I can. I know we didn't get to elaborate, but just putting it out there. And a little quote from Robert Louis Stevenson, the one that wrote Treasure Island, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I don't know if kids read that.
I thought that was H.G. Wells.
Oh, no.
And he says, life is not so much a matter of holding good cards, but sometimes of playing a poor hand well.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Make the best
Yes.
out of your situation.
Yeah. Recovery. You're talking about golf, aren't you?
You are talking about
If
golf.
you've got a high handicap, make the best out of it.
Thank you, Gerry, for joining us,
I'm
coming into the
glad to
studio
be
today.
here.
Always a pleasure. Please come in again next week. Okay. Headline news and sports up next.
All the great songs in one place.